Everyone, welcome now. It's time for Love Morning. If you're new here, I'll show you how. It's a beautiful time for Love Morning. We share gratitude and what's in our hearts. And if it's a beginning, that's when we will start. And I make up this song every single day. The notes are different as the words that I say. It's Love Morning. Yeah, Love Morning now. Oh, man. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. I am John Halcyon Stin. This is a daily practice of connection, gratitude, getting in the headspace of a love ambassador. What do we do? How do we act as a love ambassador in the world? And it's really lots of little actions of aligning to connection, aligning to kindness, aligning to gratitude. And I think that it makes the day so much better if we start with that instruction manual, that kind of punch card for the computer of our minds. Good morning, Aaliyah. Good morning, Vegan Daniel. Good morning, Snow Vision and Iris. Good morning, Gerbot. And good morning, Abigail. I'm in San Diego, California, where it is sunny now, but we've had rain for a few days, which included a ceiling leak for me. But some of my friends had significant damage to their homes because of the rain. So I'm feeling I was able to go from a place of frustration to gratitude around the little bitty struggles in my life. If you're here yesterday, I got a epidural shot, which so far I am not feeling the effects of, which is expected. Man, I have had a interesting day yesterday. I got home quickly from the procedure, did a Love Morning here with you. Then I joined Jesse Gross's a men's group writing group. I tried it out. It was great, and wrote a bunch of stuff about a message to my father. That was the prompt. And then I kept writing throughout the day. I did a bunch of writing, which I haven't done for a while, which felt really good. Maybe I'll share some of the thoughts of that. First, I will say, check in with some. Brandy is grateful for the notification that reminds her to come in and say good morning, definitely to share in the gratitude. And if you do not get notifications, they come through most efficiently if you subscribe to me on YouTube, but they also come in if you subscribe on Facebook sometimes and Instagram sometimes. But if you really want a notification, I think YouTube is the most dependable to know when I come live here. Thank you, Abigail. I am really loving the new Do Too. In fact, I was going to show you one of the things I love about it. I kind of have a dry scalp, but what I can do with hair like this, I can take some moisturizer and just go right on my head. It is so awesome. Just yeah. And it is a lot colder, but I like wearing beanies. If I get hot easily, so if I'm cold and I put if my hair's long and I put a beanie on, then I'm basically like I'm doomed for hat hair for the rest of the day. So I can't just take a hat on and off. But with this, I can. Oh, I'm chilly. Feel like, oh, I like the style. I feel cool in my beanie. I'm getting a little warm. I can just go bing and know without even looking in a mirror. My hair looks great. Aaliyah's got a question. Excellent. Let me see. I have a relationship with a boy, but at work, I'm more attracted to another, and I don't know if it is cheating or not. What a great question. And I think there's some fundamental concepts about cheating that I adhere to, which is that I don't think you can cheat in your thoughts. So if you find someone attractive, that is not cheating. There is a lot of growth that can happen in a relationship if you can be honest and say, ooh, I'm having feelings for this person. I love you so much that I find myself keeping the secret from you. It doesn't mean I'm going to act on it, or maybe we can talk about it and find out, is there a way for us to keep our connection and our bond and our honesty, acknowledging that I'm having these feelings? But that's towards poly. It's a more advanced class. There's nothing wrong with having thoughts and having fantasies and having desires of somebody that's not your partner. Cheating is when you do anything that your partner would be upset by. So some people say, well, it wasn't cheating. We were just sexting. Well, if sexting is done deceitfully and your partner would be upset and jealous about it and feel it was a violation, it's cheating. If it's just a kiss, well, if your partner found out about it and they would be pissed, that's cheating. Now at the same time, if you have a relationship where you have ground rules that allow for any of those things, it's not cheating. If your partner says, hey, as long as you tell me first, it's okay that you play with other people, but just no intercourse, or as long as you follow these rules of being safe, making sure they know about me, whatever the rules are, that's not cheating. It's cheating when there's lies and deceit behind action. That's my definition. Hope that helps. Good morning, Kat. Kat says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy days ahead. Vegan Daniel said, I also got an injection yesterday, something called Orthovisic for my knee. I had prednisone into my spine. So better living through injectable chemistry. Faith, good morning. Faith is grateful for the cool weather in Florida. Love you too. Good morning, Suzanne. Hello to you in Nebraska. Hello, Ems. And Iris, hello. Iris is grateful to have participated in the Yellowstone Winter Wolf Safari this past week. Whoa, that sounds pretty awesome. I'm guessing you saw wolves? Very cool. Kat agreeing that it's not, cheating is not about what you think, it's what you do is more important. Suzanne asks, are you doing any better from the injections? No, but that's not to be expected. They say 2 to 5 days is when I should start to feel the effects of it, and that I could even feel worse initially. Yesterday, I didn't feel so good. It was definitely pretty tender around the injection site. You're about enjoying the better living through chemistry phrase. I had a talk with Lisa yesterday, my partner, and I was saying that I used to have the philosophy, I want to live a more joyful life by any means necessary. If that meant taking Prozac, I did that for a period of my life. If it meant drinking frequently, that meant that. Like whatever, my goal was not to be a pure, healthy system in balance with the ecosystem. It was a Malcolm X radicalism. I want to be happy and joyful by any means necessary. Now, the truth is that most artificial means of boosting your joy have a cycle of ups and downs. So it's not like you can say, cool, I want to be giddy and have fun, so I'm just going to drink. Well, then you sober up and have a hangover and affect your body in other health-related ways. So, but that's part of figuring out better living through chemistry. Abigail is grateful for the health of my cat who is getting sick nonstop. The vet says she is perfectly healthy and just has a sensitive tummy. All better with some nausea medicine. Oh, that's wonderful news. Yay. Oh, whoops. I was missing some of the posts on Instagram. I apologize. Good morning, Mel Helps You Heal. Iris said she saw wolves, deer, moose, longhorn sheep. Ooh, cool. And Iris also says, I'm doing this with 2 torn meniscus. Oh, man. I actually, I don't think have ever, well, no, I don't think I've ever been like in a purely balanced physical state where I'm eating as healthy as possible, no sugar, no chemicals, no caffeine. That is daunting to me. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Luna Black and Popcorn Digger. Suzanne, through who are bipolar and anxiety disorders, life is definitely up and down here. Cutting off the extreme edges is my goal when things are at the worst. I was talking with a friend yesterday who was struggling with some stuff and been adjusting their habits, and they said that they were considering moving towards complete sobriety. And if I speak about sobriety, my sobriety is no alcohol, GHB, or ketamine. So I do caffeine. I'm okay with plant medicines and psychedelics, because I don't do those habitually. They are ceremonial and part of a healing process. But he was saying that he's been feeling a lot of anxiety lately, and his anxiety has been getting worse. And I was reflecting on the changes that I have felt in my sobriety. It's been 11 months. And there's the biological shift of not having those chemicals in me. And I think there's something to that. But I think more significant is the emotional healing that has happened around it, in terms of it led me to be very dedicated to trauma work and working on unworthiness, because the unworthiness is what was leading me to want to numb and escape. And then because I was using a chemical to numb and escape, I knew deep down that I was not in alignment. And that feeling of being not in alignment, for me, it was a feeling of like weakness that added to my insecurity and anxiety. And so I am at a place now where I feel more confident. I'm much more at peace with me, because the splinter that has been there for a decade plus, where I would have more respect for myself if I didn't have these habits. Now I'm at a place where I have a lot of respect for myself, and that comes through as my being in the world with less anxiety. I know I present as someone who does not have much anxiety, but I go through all sorts of cycles. And this, last 6 months especially, the cycles have been much more in control, I feel like. Good morning, Christopher. Chris says, I learned when visiting California that California sober means no alcohol, but psychedelics are fine. I've heard it different ways. Some people say California sober means they smoke weed. Generally, I think it just means no alcohol. Ooh, Popcorn Digger said they saw a coyote, the trickster himself, on the way to drop off their boy at school. Sweet. Sean saying hello from Kona. Where are you, everyone? I'm in San Diego. Awesome, Brandy. Oops, still got. Suzanne says, I've seen your journey. I mean, you have a lot to be proud of in the last year. Thank you. And I also feel like it's kind of remarkable how radical my growth and shifts have been in the last year. And I don't know if that is, a lot of it, I think, is just luck and beautiful things falling into place, finding, the right therapist, and then experience in breath work that was super significant. Another incredible experience in a different shadow work therapist. Super support from my parents and my former partner, who is the one that really kind of gave me a truth bomb that rocked my world. And not my partner, former lover. And then meeting Lisa and just having this massive reward for all the work I've done. And I used to have a thing on my wall that said, what is at stake? And it's like reaching your potential in all these different areas. And now in this relationship, the most mature, secure, spiritually healing relationship I've ever been in, that's at stake. So it's like, it makes it so easy to not say yes to any temptations that might lead me back to the patterns and the person that I used to be. I did breath work yesterday as part of the writing group that I joined. We did intros and we did pranayama breath and then wrote. It was really cool. Iris saying that my favorite breath work is box breathing. Welcome, Metazoan Mama. Suzanne saying you can only heal that which you uncover. You've been uncovering a lot. True. But I feel like I've been trying to dig and uncover for 20 years. And even with that active pursuit of turning myself inside out, there was still things that were locked to me. And I'm sure there's many, many more that are locked to me. This is the journey of the rest of our lives, is figuring out our truth and what is in the way of the divine flow. Kat saying that breathing techniques are very important for restoring balance within your mind and body. Super I mean, it's getting a lot of publicity now, but I think it's a really powerful tool. I kind of feel like I need to be practicing more. I would like to be practicing more. Anyone else want to share something they're grateful for? I think I was going to maybe try to share something that I wrote yesterday. Let's see if I can find it. I'm going to share a little. Oh, it's not here. Is it? It's on a different computer. Well, you know what? Give me 1 sec. Joyous is grateful for the breath, grateful for yoga, for teaching me that breath is everything, grateful for the tools I have and others remind me when I forget. I was also feeling some deep gratitude for Giannis, my co-host on Stay Sparked. It was his birthday this week, and I just wrote him a nice message this morning about how much I appreciate him. That felt good. We do gratitude at the beginning of every Stay Sparked episode. If you haven't listened, I really encourage you to check out Stay Sparked, the podcast that I do with Giannis and Betsy about growth and psychedelics and all the good stuff. Burning Man, quite often. Okay. Ooh, well, the thing I was going to talk about is not the one I didn't write about. I haven't posted yet. Let's see. Abigail says, I'm grateful for this practice and all the authenticity in this space. When I was in Jesse's writing group yesterday, someone told him that he makes it easy to write about hard things. And I loved that description. I think that is what I aspire to do, is to create spaces where it is easy to talk about hard things. And no judgment, open-hearted, accepting space. All right, let's see. So I saw some post about raving. No, I know what it was. I was looking for funny ways that I have shown up in the web in the past. And I found this old thing where they had pictures. It was like a BuzzFeed thing about ravers back in the day versus ravers now. And they used a picture of me as a ravers now, even though it was a pretty old picture of me wearing pink fur and next to a pink fur go-go dancer. And I was thinking about, man, I have been a part of the edge and the frontier of different cultures and communities for a long time. Like, I raved back when it was illegal and you had to get, a map point and call the day of and figure out where it was going to be. And I went to Burning Man when it was still an underground thing, mostly by San Francisco people. And I was online before most people knew what HTTP was. I was sharing my daily life before blogging was a thing. I was sharing an obnoxious amount of self-portraits before selfies was a thing. I was building community sites before they were called social media. I was sharing video content way before YouTube. I had a streaming weekly show long before we had streaming video options. I used an FTP uploading webcam and an audio stream that were on the same page with a JavaScript chat room. And so you could hear my voice and my movement would be totally out of sync as I was doing the show. And then you could participate in chat. So it was a live streaming internet talk show almost 20 years ago. Actually, no, over 20 years ago. And I've always really loved being on the edge. There's something liberating about that for me, being places where there is no precedent. There is no right way to do things, because then I'm freed from the fear of doing it wrong. I never had the courage to go to Hollywood and try to be a writer because that was so frightening. Instead, the internet came perfectly for me, so I could just create my own channel to distribute the content that I wanted to, and never have to risk not doing it right, because new place, my rules. And I used to have, like, my cards used to say digital explorer and lifestyle artist. And then I kind of fell off the edge of technology and started to slip farther and farther back and slip into the place of an older person having to talk to their nephews to learn what Snapchat was. But I still was, I think, attracted to the edge. My edge that I have maintained the exploration of is my personal growth, my spirituality, and also in the realms of consciousness. I mean, the last 10 years of my substance use was really connected to exploring the edges of my consciousness, of this dimension and other dimensions. That was kind of, I think it was a very similar drive in me to a call to the unknown, the freedom of being a pioneer. And I find myself in this current chapter thinking about that need for the edge. Except I think that now the frontier that is so exciting for me are still the inner search, the vulnerable public exploration of authenticity, but really relationship and partnership and this universally, it's like, for me, it's the edge. For the rest of humanity, it is one of the most common landscapes or canvases that any of us have exposure to, is our relationships. And I'm at a place now where everything that I've done in the past has led me to this exciting frontier of loving connection, interdependency, partnership that is connected to all the personal growth. It facilitates personal growth. And really, I'm trying to have the courage to learn from others and also stay in that space of courageous exploration. And there's no right way to do it. That the right way to do it is to be honest and to trust and to keep pushing towards acceptance and compassion, honesty, and away from judgment, away from fear. So it's interesting. In some ways, I feel like, oh, wow, I used to have this need for exploration, and now I'm in this mundane place in my life of nesting and building a home and building a life with someone. And on the other hand, that's just my new frontier. I love it. Welcome everyone who's popped in. I have been staring into the camera and not said everything, heard everything. Amen. Thank you, Gerbot. Amen, Joyous. Hello, Terry. Good to see you. Kat saying social media definitely has very strict expectation nowadays. Well, I mean, and I built my own, HTML place to share all my life long before there were tools that you could do it. Now every website has a place where you can make a profile and it makes it so easy to share anything. When I was doing it when it was considered fucking crazy, self-absorbed and narcissistic. Kind of scary that the whole world has caught up to that and now it's normalized. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Actually, I do consider it good. I still am a believer. That sharing on the internet can be a powerful tool of growth. That adjusting our mindset to see ourselves as the protagonist of our story is one of the ways that we can use social media for good. Now, if you get caught up in the facade and a presentation of a false narrative or hiding your negative, that's problematic. But if you can instead get in the headspace of seeing the film clips of your life and telling it in a way where your narrative is one of growth, that's super powerful. You can also use social media as just to complain and whine and be in a state of negativity, or you can use it in a place of a incentive to look at your life in the way that a writer is trying to tell a story. What is in here for me to learn? What is the struggle here? What is the patterns here? And acknowledging I am lost in this moment. I am feeling this way in this moment. I'm having this thought that is causing so much struggle for me. But to me, I find that if you start from the headspace of I'm telling an honest story, it's a biography, but I'm editing it in a way that it can feel good. I think that is one of the few redeeming things left in the social media obsession of our culture. I was saying that sharing on the internet is my version of keeping a journal, which I've done since 9 years old. Totally. Welcome, Thalia. Brandy says, I'm wicked grateful for your sharing this unabashed self-exploration with all of us. Thanks, Brandy. It certainly feels right for me. Simon, good morning. I'm with you too. Awesome. Gerbot says, we're all the stars and the directors of our own movie. And I would actually add an important piece of it is that we are the editors. Jacob Glass pointed this out to me where he said, if you take the same footage and use different music and edit it in a different way, it can tell a totally different story. You could take the footage of the opening of Jaws with kids playing on the beach and a little bit of splashing in the ocean and put music that's like do 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 do. It'd be a very different movie than dun 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 dun. The editor is what creates that drama and that fear. And so we can take the same footage of our life and tell the story that we want around it. It's not lying. It's where you're going to focus. Where you're going to draw focus. The director saying, okay, let's put the camera here. And the editor saying, let's minimize the importance of this part of the story. Let's cut this and really find the meat that tells the story that we want to tell. Mm-mm. All right, we're going to have a hug in just a minute. Abigail saying, I started my exploration frontier last year and began raving for the first time. Went to my first burns. You're an inspiration for me. Well, oh, thank you. I've yeah, it's funny to look at how long I have been playing on the edge of culture. You know, as someone said, I posted something today about most of the time being pink makes me feel more like me, but sometimes it starts to feel like a uniform that I have to wear, and that's when I cut my hair. And their post was, I have a friend who's got a woman who's got pink hair in her 50s, and it just starts to, the older you get, the more you look like a parody. And I was like, I don't feel that. But I kind of always have been a self-parody. But it did make me think, oh yeah, like there is a huge age difference between someone who is young and dyeing their hair for the first time and me. In fact, it used to be when I told people I was on the Splat Box, they'd be like, oh my gosh, it's you. Now I'll go, I'm the guy on the Splat Box. And they're like, which one? I'm like, that one, that's me. They're like, oh, well, it's me 20 plus years ago. Here, how about this? I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see it. I'm like, oh man, I'm old. Good morning, Capstonarian. Oh, hey, Capstonarian, you just wrote me a message. I am my link page. If you go to johnston.com, which I hope you go and visit it, it's got links to all my stuff. I need to I didn't move it because it's on Koji, and Koji was sold to Linktree, but I don't like the way Linktree pages look. So I put out a thing on Upwork. I said, does anybody convert this page to Squarespace for me? And I think that was Capstonarian who sent me a message. I can do it. So awesome. Good morning and welcome. And hello, the Human Horror Film. And good. And whoever else is still here. Last chance to share some gratitude. Hello, Dawn in Utah. Steve, I hope that your battle with moisture is going okay. Kirbat saying I should put that editing bit in a clip. Okay, I'm going to try to do that. And I appreciate those kind of notices because I recognize that the majority of people that are online are consuming content in little clips. And so it takes a different type of mindset to sit through the now 37 minutes into this broadcast. And most people, click away after a few minutes. So I need to, maybe that's the next thing I do an Upwork contract for. It's like, I need someone to watch the morning broadcasts, give them the video clip, and take out nuggets. Which I might do might be two people. It might be one person who says, here are the time codes of your good stuff, and somebody else who just takes the clips for me. I don't know. Brandy says, I have such a freaking glowing vibe today. Thank you. I was noticing yesterday, I was like, even though I was having quite a bit of pain, I wrote, 3 pieces yesterday. I was in a really good space with my partner. Lisa was in a really good space. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, everyone who's here. And I think with this, it is a great time for us to share a hug, to remember that we are all love ambassadors, fully qualified to go out in the world and share a little role modeling of goodness, a little example of it's okay to be more kind and connecting. Lisa and I went on a walk this morning around our neighborhood, and we make a point to say hello, good morning to everyone we pass walking their dogs. Not everyone says hi back, but Don't you want to live in a world like that? And how else does that world happen unless you become that and show, be the change? Or as we've been saying in here, be the reason someone believes that people are good. Because there's so many voices trying to convince us that that's not the case, that people suck. And some people do. But we can be the reason. We can be the example that breaks the rule that people suck. Good morning, Brady. Thank you, Kat. Right on. So wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big squeeze and feel yourself being held by me and everyone here, everyone who's experiencing this live or this recording. Connecting in that place of recognition that we're all so much more alike than we are different. We're all doing the best we can with what we got. So let's forgive others, forgive ourselves, and feel sinking into this oneness, being part of the human experience as we take a deep breath in and squeeze one another and feel us squeezing you. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and you, Love Ambassador, thank you for being here for our gratitude gathering, our Hug Nation Love Ambassador morning. See you here pretty much every day at 9 a.m. on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Kat. Thanks, Iris and Ranjit and Gerbot. And hey, Chris. Chris saying today in Austin, it's Hi, How Are You Day? An official special day where you act like a love ambassador? That's amazing. Oh, heck yeah. Hi, how are you today? Love you. Check out johnston.com before it's gone.